Good morning. Good morning. How you folks doing? My name is Brian K. McNeill, and I am part of the Empowerment Duo. Thank you for tuning in this morning for our show. Let's talk about it. We talk about personal conversations, business information, and spiritual inspiration with a little bit of shenanigans. Now, my ladies, which includes my wife, Dr. LisaSantiagoMcNeilll, and my mother, Miss Christine Harrington, they're at the doctor's office right now. My mother has to get her heart checked out. It's just a regular thing. She's not in an emergency, but they're going to be there for 3 hours. They were there this morning at 7:45, 8 o'clock, something like that this morning for a scheduled appointment. But my mom has to go see the doctor this morning, and my wife took her, and they're going to be there for a while. So it's just us today. I'm in the big chair. Whee! Okay. This is Shout It Out Friday. This is also the last Friday before the baby Cheeto takes office, because on Monday is Inauguration Day. And I had a thought, we're going to do Shout It Out Friday. My wife put a flyer out there quickly this morning before I could get to it. But I have a thought I want to talk about, and I'm probably going to talk about the same thing again next week later on. But I want to talk about, because I'm a fish tank owner. I own a fish tank. I own two, actually. They're both active now. I only had one for a long time, but since I got Brother Santiago's fish tank, it's a much bigger one. I put that in the living room too. And my mom and my wife encouraged me to not put the little one that was in the corner, well, not little, 40-gallon tank, to put that in live too. So now I have a tank with goldfish in it and minnow, goldfish and minnows and snails in, and I got another tank with danios and what do you call those things? Black skirt tetras and something else. It's in there, and my plecostomus is in there too. So I got a tank with those kind of fish too. So, but that's a big tank, and that's a community tank. So I was thinking about talking about what does fish tank ownership teach us? But also, what does nature teach us? So I was thinking about animals like the lions and the lion herd and the lion pack. And what does eagles teach us? Eagles and all that. But I also want to hear from you. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. Good morning, Brother Uzama. This is still always every Friday, a Shout Out Friday as well. So we're going to talk about those things too. So anyway, we're going to get through this thing today, and I'll be right back after this introduction. Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am LisaSantiagoMcNeilll.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like.
Uzama, you will know, and Dr. Beverly, you will know this is the second time this week I've had to fly solo. Monday I had to fly solo because my wife had to take my mother to the doctors. And this Friday I had to fly solo because my wife has to take my mom to the doctor. Is it? Can it be? Are those two up to something, or are they really going to the doctor's offices? Yeah, I know she's 75. I know these appointments are scheduled, but come on, man, twice in a week, what do they have going on? Are they plotting something? Dr. Beverly says, Grand Rising to my favorite, awesome, beautiful family. Dr. Beverly, you make this family better. And I'm happy to have you. Dr. Beverly's been rocking with this podcast Monday through Friday, or at least 2 or 3 or 4 of those days for years, probably at least, 8 years, maybe 9. Girl bonding, I guess. I still run this mom there. They can bond all they want to. We're still gonna flow the way Daddy gonna flow. Since they're not here, I could talk about them behind their back. Right, Dr. Beverly? I could talk about them two behind their back. yesterday I had to no, it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. Anyway, Lisa was busy, so I had to make my mother breakfast. Okay, I had to make her breakfast. So I made her some grits, and we had some. I made her breakfast, okay, and as soon as I handed it to her, she flipped out. She goes, "Brian, you didn't cook it all the way." Yes, I did. You're supposed to microwave it after you cook it. I'm not doing that. So I said, "Here you go, Mom." And that's the end of the story. I don't do that. Nope. Dr. Miller says no because you are recording, and Dr. Lisa's she's not going to watch. She's at the hospital. She's at the doctor's office. She's in the lobby. She might catch something. I don't know. But good morning, Miss Phyllis Victoria, also known as Miss Phyllis, and she is here. That's beautiful. Miss Phyllis has been rocking with us for 9 years. Yahoo! This is Shout Out Friday. You know, I want to tell you guys some stuff. I'm thinking about talking about what fish tank ownership teaches me. But last night I was up late finishing a show series that was way better than I thought it was going to be. Way better. I watched the Rhythm and Flow season 1. Rhythm and Flow season 1 is what I watched. And oh my gosh, it was so compelling. It's a rap competition, and the hosts were Cardi B, T.I., and Chance the Rapper. And they did a great job, man. It was way better than I thought it was going to be, Uzama. I didn't even know if I liked the rap music today, but I loved this competition. It was a competition like some kind of competition, like a singing competition, but it was rap. And they had it was 10 weeks long, 10 episodes. And they had tasks and assignments and challenges and things they had to do. They had to battle rap one time. They had to sample a song another time. They had to perform with another performing artist one time. They had to do all these things. It was a competition, and it started with a big pool of people. We got down to the final 2 last night, and then there was a winner last night too. And it was so compelling to watch. These people try so hard, and the show did a great job of telling the human interest side of it, telling their stories, their backgrounds. You saw their stuff on so many of them. You know, they were supported by family, and the grand prize was $250,000, $250,000 that they get to use however they like. You know, they gave advice, but look, this is your money. You're not indebted back to us or anything part of it, but we encourage you to invest in yourself. That's all they did. But that can use that money to $250,000. Imagine you got $250,000 today. It'll change your family for generations. 250 is different. 25,000 would be helpful. $250,000 is significantly more. Imagine getting blessed with that today. Can you? I can imagine $250,000 being blessed with that. Again, this is Friday, and I know what you're thinking. Before I go too far on, let me just get this out the way. Yes. This is the 3rd day in a row I've wore a turtleneck. Oh, can you believe it? Some kind of record must have been broken. He actually rocked a turtleneck 3 days in a row in the same week. What? This is unheard of. What? I was going to put my sport coat on, but then I just didn't. He's rocking a turtleneck for 3 days in a row. What? I haven't worn a turtleneck in years, maybe 20-something years, but I did it 3 times this week. Can you believe it? Wow! Those of you in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, Charlotte or Concord or Huntersville areas, I want to let you guys know something. This upcoming Sunday, my favorite preacher is going to preach. Dr. LisaSantiagoMcNeilll is going to give a talk called Transitioning to Next. This is going to be a new talk for her. She's very excited about it. She's very studied about it. It would be wonderful if we can get Dr. Beverly in the hizzy or Cat Ivy Kimberly Jackson in the Hizzy. They visited before. Kenny Tucker in the Hizzy. People that I know they're local. It'd be wonderful if Lena Janelle could come in the door, step in the room. Miss Phyllis come all the way down from New York to come. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm probably going to pop this graphic up a couple of times, but Lisa's going to deliver the word this upcoming Sunday at our church, Exhort Community Church, and I'm excited about having it. I'm excited about being there. I will tell you, as a speaker, I'm one of these speakers that like some of my people in the room. I like familiar faces. You know, if I gave a talk and I had Dr. Beverly over here and Miss Phyllis over there and Brother Uzama up in the front somewhere and a few of you other folks that was in the room, that would be a better talk. Dr. Deborah up in the house, that'd be a better talk. If you guys was in the Shaki up in there, Miss Peggy, Leggy Peggy, and I'm only saying that because I keep seeing Lena say it, Uzama. That's what I said. So that's this upcoming Sunday night. Monday night, if you haven't heard, for the past 6 Mondays, this will be our 7th Monday night in a row. I've hosted the Sales Confidence Mastery Group. It's a group on Monday nights at 8 p.m. and it's virtual. You don't have to come, but it's for you entrepreneurs. You need some sales training and some accountability, and you need some community. So many entrepreneurs work in silos. They work lonely, but having some community of like-minded entrepreneurs that are gathered to learn some stuff. And it has been so much fun. The reviews and testimonials I've gotten about our Monday event have been amazing. So this upcoming Monday, again, if you haven't yet visited, consider yourself formally invited to the Sales Confidence Mastery Group. It is that missing piece of the puzzle for you. It is the key to unlock that door to your greatest year financially with your business. There's some things that we talk about in that room that you have needed to know. There's some things that we talk about in that room that you need reinforced or be reminded of. But we do that on Mondays. You can visit that group up to twice for free. Visit twice for free as my guest. You're welcome to come to that. Dr. Deborah, did I just talk you up? Did I just speak you up, Dr. Deborah Dunstan? I mentioned your name, and there she appears. Well, there's a song on that, you know. Luther Vandross said something, and suddenly your face appears, but it's just a crazy game when it ends in tears. That's a house is not a home. That's the song. Dr. Deborah, I just mentioned your name and here you go. Bam. Do I have secret powers? Can I mention a person's name and they just show up? Is that a superpower I have that I don't realize? Let's try it. Dr. Beverly uniquely taking over Thomas. There she is. Can you believe my powers? Dr. Beverly says, let's say Lena Janelle. What? Lena came in too. If I mention their name, they showing up. Do I have another superpower? Wow. Lena, calm down. Lena, calm down. Yes, this is a turtleneck. Yes, this is the 3rd day in a row. But I want y'all to be cool. It's just the clothes, man. Come on. It doesn't make me any more special or anything just because I rocked the turtleneck 3 days in a row. Come on, man. Anyway, Dr. Beverly says, shout it out to the credit bureaus. I'm learning to fix my credit myself. The people I trusted to help me that I paid took my money and did nothing. I'm learning that when you put a freeze on your credit, the 3 main credit reporting agencies go to the 2nd and 3rd party reporting agencies, up to 90 of them, to keep you with chains on your life. I declare and decree this year, I am the chain breaker. Let's get it. Let's go. It's an interesting thing. Thank you, Dr. Beverly, for sharing that. Good morning again, Sister Lena Janelle. Credit in this country. Boy, we should bring in a credit expert. Not having good credit is painful. It is painful. People with bad credit pay more money, and they typically have less. They have less money. People with bad credit typically have less money, and they pay more for stuff, to get stuff that they need, like a car and a place to live. It's not pretty. It's a very painful thing. I decided long ago to just not even give a daggone about that. I don't care about that. I can buy whatever I want. Okay. I'm not stressing my credit. I decided to not stress my credit. I decided to, and my credit has improved over the years, but I'm not sweating it because I'm not trying to buy things on credit myself. Okay, I'm not trying to do that. But if you have to buy things on credit, I'm trying to just pay for stuff or not have to finance much. That's been my goal. That's been my objective. That's how I've lived my life for many years. I don't finance much of anything at all. And I don't have any outstanding revolving loan debts or anything like that. Nothing. I got regular bills, but I don't have any car payment. I've had car payments, yes. I've had a couple of cars, but we don't have any now. And we haven't had a car payment in about 3 years. Not to brag. Okay, but it's been about 3 years since we've had, no, maybe 2 years since we've had a car payment. Dr. Deborah submits, if you have a 501c3 nonprofit, remember that it's 990 tax season. 990 tax season. If you have a nonprofit and you have a 501c3 you remember it's 990 tax season. Now, I don't have a nonprofit, so that doesn't mean as much to me. But for those of you who do have the 501c3, those of you who do own a nonprofit or run a nonprofit, that probably means a lot. There's probably something that you should be paying attention to right now. Thank you, Dr. Deborah Dunson, for the highlight of that. So again, show topics. I was thinking, I know Lisa put out a flyer says go faster, farther, but I was thinking, and she ain't here. We're going to do Shout It Out Friday, but I was thinking so much this morning, and you wouldn't believe my writing this morning, Lena. I was up writing. My wife and my mother at the doctor's office. My mother has a heart specialist appointment, and they're there to check her out and make sure she's good. They're going to be there for 3 hours, so someone had to do it. My wife took her. So my mother's at the doctor's. It was not an emergency, and she didn't have any symptoms like that. This is just a regular something that you got to do when you're 75. But she's at the heart specialist right now. So that's why you don't see her. But this morning, my writing, Dr. Deborah, and I was writing this morning about what does fish tank ownership teach me? What am I learning as fish tank owners? Now, because of the influence of the ladies, I have 2 fish tanks in my living room. I had the regular 40-gallon tank that I've had for a long time, and I got the 100-gallon tank that we got from Carmelita Sims, Sundieda's wife, and Sundieda's gone on to be the glory, but he had a big old fish tank, and his wife wanted me to have it because him and I were great friends. So I have it now. So I've cleaned it up and all that stuff. So now I got that. So I was thinking, what does fish tank ownership teach us? But then my writing took me to what have I learned from the Eagles, about the Eagles. And I've learned there's so many life lessons. And what have I learned about life from watching lions and lion packs? The lion pack, the lion herd, the lion pride, the pride of lions. That's the right term, pride. What have I learned about them over the years? Because there's life lessons in all of that. So I like to talk about that. Is that Mr. Tony Leak stepping up into the house? Good morning, Tony. How you doing, sir? Good morning to you and the rest of your crew, Mr. Tony Leak. Good morning. My wife is gone. I know y'all. Some of y'all come here just for the pretty Lisa face. I know. But she ain't here today. Just to remind you again, if you're in the area, Tony, this upcoming Sunday, Lisa's going to be the featured preacher at my church. She's my favorite preacher. So if you can make it there, it's going to be in Huntersville, North Carolina. Come and check her out. This is our last day we get to remind you. So how are you feeling? I was thinking about those topics. I was thinking about Shout Out Friday. I was thinking about this the last Friday, the last weekend before the baby Cheeto takes the office for the second time. Aren't you excited about that? Well, January 20th is going to be here this upcoming Monday. He's going to take office. And we have become, we probably always were, this nation has become a nation of it's going to be an oligarchy. The richest people make all the rules. That's it. The richest people run the thing. The richest man in the world, Mr. Elon Musk, he's the first person to ever accumulate a wealth of $400 billion. $400 billion. He's accumulated wealth of that much. First time in history it's happened. Wow. And people have already been calling him President Musk. The reason thing is, and that's probably close to true, because he's clearly smarter than Trump, and Trump will go by whatever anybody that compliments him asks him to do. If you compliment him, he'll just do it. Or if you say something nice about him, he'll give you whatever you want. He's easily manipulated, and we've seen that for his whole life. Uzama Ra says, speaking of lions, excited about the new salestool.com. Just as I'm pumped for our Detroit Lions. That's right. This tool is a game changer for your hashtag sales strategy. Much like our Lions are changing the game on the field. Let's roar to success together. He even put some emojis up in there. Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, you should be very, very excited. People that are fans of the Detroit Lions, you should be very excited. Last year, you had a good season, and you were close to going to the Super Bowl. This year, you've been even better. The Detroit Lions, they have historically been not an elite team, an afterthought team, even though for 10 years, they had the greatest running back in history in Barry Sanders, and he left them early. He left the team early, but they never could put it together. So when your team and the city of Detroit has taken on an economic resurgence, the city was high, and then it got low economically because of different industries leaving and all of that. But now it's come back with a vengeance. Detroit has had a renaissance. The city of the greatest city has uplifted a lot. Come up out of the mud, man. There's a lot of things growing in Detroit if you look at it. But I think it might be, Uzama can tell me, is it a direct correlation to the success of the football team? Because as the football team has become more and more successful, it seems optimism is higher. I'm not there. Okay, Uzama Ra can tell us. But it seems like the city is more exciting. They hosted an NFL draft a couple of seasons ago, and the city of Detroit did really, really well for that. They hosted the draft, so they brought them all down. It looked beautiful to me, too. So those kinds of things, the NFL coming to your city, a successful football team, more industry coming to the area, people buying up that real estate, that puts money into the area, which makes the area better. So the people in Detroit should be excited. I would love to see you get there to the Super Bowl. They've never been before. They've never been to the Super Bowl. That would be exciting. Now, if you're a football fan, this weekend is the divisional round. The wild card weekend in the NFL was last weekend, the teams that barely got in and all that. But the football games now, everybody that's now is either had a week off or they won a playoff game. And that's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So you don't have any lucky teams now. Now you only have the best teams left. That's it. It's going to be 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. The best teams left. That's it. The Elite 8 is going to be involved. And then we're going to have next weekend the Elite 2. And then the 2 weeks after that, the first weekend of February, we're going to have the Super Bowl. Uzama read that. Dr. Beverly says, fish tank teaching you. Yes, responsibilities. With Eagles, I am a phoenix. Lions, we protect each other, and we are not to be messed with. Amen. Amen. Uzama Ross admits Mayor Duggan and the money. Mayor Duggan and the money Dan Gilbert brought to the city has been huge for the comeback. Dan Gilbert, is that the same Dan Gilbert who used to own, or maybe still owns, the Cleveland Cavaliers? The same Dan Gilbert billionaire who he got to be a little bit petulant. I guess when you got so much money, you get a little bit crazy. But he drafted and kept LeBron James for 7 seasons. He had it, and the whole downtown area of Cleveland. LeBron James was worth several $billions to downtown Cleveland. That one man was worth billions of dollars to a city. And then when he left, the city went through an economic dip. And Dan Gilbert made an ad. He says, LeBron James is this and that and so and so. I will guarantee we're going to win an NBA championship here in Cleveland before he wins one in Miami. That wasn't true because he went to 4 straight finals in Miami and winning 2 of them. He missed the first. He went to the finals. They didn't win it. He won 2 in a row. Then he went to the finals again and didn't win. But still, 4 straight. And then LeBron came back, and it was all kumbaya in Cleveland. So Osama's saying Mayor Duggan and the money that Dan Gilbert brought into the city has been huge for the comeback. I'm glad of that. We should not have a major city in the United States be downtrodden. Detroit's a major city. You know, it came up with the car industry, and it's still a big deal there. Ford Motor Corporation in Detroit. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me or anything like that, but at one time, Detroit made the cars for the world at one time. And it was a thriving city. And I'm happy to hear that city's recovering. Dr. Belly put some stuff, fish tank teaching you. You know, as a fish tank owner, I know how I control their environment. I have to keep their environment clean. I have to keep the environment free of anything that could hurt. And like if anything, like an accidental spray of an aerosol can, like if you're trying to spray like an air freshener, for example, if that get in the water, that can poison the water and kill fish. Or I have to maintain their temperature. I have to make sure I control their environment, keep the environment safe for them, and make it conducive. I have to keep my heaters going, the filters going, make sure the tank is clean. I have to do a lot of stuff, make sure so that they can, and I got to feed them. So I study my fish tank, and I learned as a fish tank owner, if you're watching your fish, they have personality too. So I like community tanks myself. I don't like tanks that fight. So I typically will buy fish that like to be top swimmers, that like to hang around the top of the tank. And you got middle swimmers that hang around the middle of the tank. And you got some bottom swimmers that like to stay low around the low. And I always get a fish that are 1 or 2 that eats algae, because algae grows, a live thing that grows in the tank. And I want something that likes to eat the food off the bottom, the food that makes it from the top past everybody else to hit the ground. So I want some bottom feeders that like to eat the food on the bottom to keep my tank clean and healthy. And everyone has a job. My wife says you should get prettier fish. I don't want a fish tank that just looks pretty. I want a fish tank that works, that lasts. I don't want to just have the pretty splash and that fish dies. I want a fish tank that thrives. So I'm paying attention to that. So now I have the community tank, the big one, but my old small one, I've turned that into a goldfish and minnow tank, because got to be very, very specific. Most fish cannot live next to goldfish because goldfish puts off ammonia. Goldfish are slimy. They emit a slime and all that stuff. And most fish can't live with them, other than other goldfish, minnows, and certain shrimp can live with them. But you gotta be very careful. Typically, you only see goldfish with goldfish or by themselves. But goldfish are also social, so you can't leave them by themselves long because they start tripping. They mess up and stuff. They're misbehaving. So you got to get them at least in pairs. And goldfish, just like a lot of fish, will grow as big as the tank allows. So when you have fewer fish in the tank, the goldfish have more room and they'll keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I only put a couple of them in the smaller tank this time. I know this is fascinating to a lot of you guys, right? Fascinating. That's not what we're here for. But it does teach you that your environment matters. The place that you allow yourself to be. Are you putting yourself in places where you can get fed? You can get fed and supported. That's what, and also fish tank management. I mean, in fish tanks, you can't put a much bigger fish in there next to a much smaller fish, because the bigger fish will bully the little one. You got to keep them similar sizes so they behave. If one fish is much bigger than the others, He'll nibble at their fins and push them around. So they got to be similar in size. So those are things you have to pay attention to if you're a fish tank owner. And then she went on to say, Dr. Beverly went on to say, lions. Fish tank teach you that responsibilities. And with eagles, let's go with eagles. Eagles are a fascinating thing. We get so many lessons from eagles. You all know about how eagles will kick their eaglets out of the nest. They also they don't do it in right away. They will birth eagles and they'll feed them until they get big and strong, and they get encouraged to test their wings. That's what they do. They get encouraged. So sometimes the eaglets will test their wings and all that kind of stuff. And they'll let them stick around for a little while. But what the eagles will do is when they think it's time for the eaglets to leave, they will remove some of the comfortable stuff out of the nest so that the nest is not as comfortable. And then they make the nest smaller so it's not as comfortable. So they make the house smaller and they make the house less comfortable until the eaglets is like, look, I can't live like this. And they feed it less and all that stuff. So they feed the eaglets less. They make the house uncomfortable and prickly. So they encourage them to get out of there. And then if that don't work, but then the eagle will pick up the eaglet and throw it out the nest. Now, eagles nest high up in Mount Rocks, high. So, look, it's enough. I done tried everything else to get your butt out of here. You just got to go. So they kick them out. And a lot of times the eaglets have to figure out how to navigate flight on the way down. You want to talk about some learning for your butt? Because if you don't figure it out, you're going to hit the ground and some other critter is going to get a free meal. Or you'll figure out your wings and you figure out how to ride the air and all that, and then you're gone. And when the eaglets leave, mom and dad don't let them come back. They try to come back. They'll try to come back and get a free meal or get free food, but they don't feed them anymore. That's it. Once you're gone, we're not going to feed you anymore. Also, eagles mate for life. They don't play the field. Eagles don't herd, by the way. They're typically solo flyers and they hunt solo and all that stuff. In certain places and certain seasons, they will gather. Like if the fish is really, really good, they'll gather there. But most of the part, they fly alone. Okay, eagles don't need a crowd. But when they mate for life. That's it. So mom and dad takes care of everything. They do it for life. That's how eagles roll. They don't date around. Eagles mate for life. Miss Phyllis submits, my son in Las Vegas just refilled their fish tank for my grand. They have a big tank. As for me, when it comes to the winter days, these are bright sheets in my bed, yellow, orange. I don't get it. When it comes to winter days, use a bright sheets in my bed, yellow and orange. What are you trying to say, Miss Phyllis? You saying that your bed sheets are bright, yellow and orange, and somebody should come and check them out? Is that what you saying, Miss Phyllis? Y'all got to come see this. There's a funny comedian that we like. His name is Jim Gaffigan. And he talks about how his wife decorates their bed. She'll make the bed up and puts all these pillows on that he can't use. All these decorated pillows, roll pillow. And she has like a bunch of pillows, decorative pillows. He goes, why do you have so many pillows on the bed? And his wife says, for decorations. And he can retort, who do you think is going to come and tour our bedroom? Nobody's going to come into our bedroom and see this decorated bed that you put together. And he's right. Who's going to tour your bedroom? You don't just let anybody come and see your bedroom. Nobody comes into your bedroom but the people that live there. Nobody. Not even anybody else living in the house, they don't come in your bedroom. So it's unnecessary to make decorations on your bed. I'll cut that out. That's ridiculous. Cut it out. Display towels is another ridiculous concept. Why hang a towel for display purposes at the perfect place when you need to wipe your hands? Okay, it's right there. I don't play like that. Stop playing with people. Display towels, decorative beds. Cut all that out. Make your bed, yes, but you don't need no. I mean, you're not giving a tour. You don't need that. Cut it out. All right, Miss Phyllis. Did y'all see Miss Phyllis flirting on the sneak tip? Is that what she was doing? What? Oh my goodness. So yes, it's 9:35. Time sure flies. That means in about 7 minutes, I gotta do the greeting songs and the greeting logos. Oh God. Oh, starting to sweat. Starting to perspire. Gotta do the greeting songs and greeting logos. Eagles also teach us some more stuff too. Animals in general. I was writing this morning, Uzama, about birds and certain animals. They molt and they shed. Okay, why do they do that? The eagles will molt. They'll lose some of their current feathers, and some of the feathers they pluck out so that the new feathers can come in healthier and prettier and better. They'll get rid of the old feathers, and it happens for them throughout the season. But certain animals, they shed a skin. They shed, like snakes will go through a process of shedding a skin. For example, a rattlesnake will shed a skin and gain another link in the rattle every time they share it. They shed a skin and they get bigger. Every time these animals shed skin, they get bigger or they get more vibrant. When they shed something, when they get rid of some old skin, they get rid of some old feathers. Is there any parts of your life that you need to shed or molt or get off of you? That's another thing too. Ms. Phyllis says, in the winter, I use bright color sheets to keep my spirits up because it gets dark early. Oh, bright colored sheets to keep your spirits up. Okay, I get it, Ms. Phyllis. Got it. Oh my gosh, Dr. Beverly, stop it. She goes, I have 12 pillows on my bed, Miss Phyllis, and my sheets are silver, white, and trim of black. I get it. I'm sure your bed looks nice, Dr. Beverly, but why do you have 12 pillows? You probably only sleep on one or two. Do you have decorative pillows? Cut it out. Decorative pillows, really? It makes no sense. But we do it anyway. People do it. And why do decorative pillows cost more than $1? It's not going to have any function other than the look. Maybe that's just me. Shirley DeJarnette Wyatt, good morning to you, my sister. This is Shout It Out Friday. No one has picked up the bait. I've thrown it out there a couple of times. How about any thoughts on Monday? This is the last weekend before the baby Cheeto takes office again, and it's oligarchy. We're going to have a bunch of billionaires, President Musk and President Trump. We're going to have those co-presidents again. I mean, for the first time. So nobody's feeling different. I'm going to say this. We're going to just get along. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. So I'm glad to see Sister Shirley came in the room. I got about 3 minutes before I have to do the greeting song. Woo. Woosah, woosah. Let's get it together. And you know what, Dr. Beverly, you're right. Some of the stuff I was saying earlier about my wife and my mom, they're going to probably catch this replay, and I'm going to probably have to make them be quiet or something. I'm going to watch football this weekend. I'm going to continue with my fish. And the other thing, too, as a fish tank owner, you got to be careful overfeeding them because they can eat. If they eat too much, they can get sick and die. So you got to be careful with that, too. Back on Eagles lessons for Dr. Beverly's sake. Eagles can live to about 70 years. They can get up to 70 years old. However, around age 35 to 40, somewhere between age 35 and 40, the Eagles go through a very painful process where they pull off their own talons and they break their own beak. Their talons, over time, they get worn. So they have a choice to make between 35 and 40 to go through the painful process. And it takes them almost a whole year to go through that. Get rid of their old talons and break their own beaks against a rock. They can have a choice to do that or not. If they don't do it, they'll just die early. If they do it, if they break their own beaks, because their beaks keep getting curved and curved and curved, and then get too curved, it's harder for them to hunt. And the talons don't grip as well, or the talons get worn off, it's harder for them to hunt. So they go through the painful process of pulling off their own talons and breaking their own beaks against a rock, because when they grow back in, it's going to be a much healthier beak and much healthier talons. And then when they do that and they allow that to happen, it takes over a year's time, then they can live another 35 or 40 years. It doubles their life when they choose to do that. Dr. Beverly says, shout out to Beverly and the Tea Collection. Will your relaxation and your skin will love the water techniques, and afterwards with the body butter and the essential oil mix, grouped with the luscious lips gloss, you be ready for the world. Miss Phyllis says, my small pillow was made. Oh gosh. So let's talk about this. Dr. Beverly, Miss Phyllis, my wife and I had this debate. My wife, she will take a shower and towel off and leave the towel in the bathroom, and come back, and parts of her body still have water droplets on it, and I can see them. I'm like, cut it out, go ahead and dry off, get your towel, all that, blah, 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 back and forth. Now, she dries herself gently. I dry myself very vigorously. I mean, I take off the top layer of skin. I dry myself dry. I get it all dry vigorously. I clean it all off. I'm taking off a top layer of skin when I dry. But I think that's the right way. I think you're supposed to dry off vigorously and really get it into it. And she goes, well, you're going to dry off all the moisture. And I don't use shower water to moisturize my skin. I use the natural oils that I get, that I still produce, natural oil. So I shower and towel vigorously. Which one of us is right? Do you want to towel vigorously or towel yourself gently? Some people I know, I used to be one when I was early younger. I used to like, well, not for long, but sometimes in the summer, I used to like to air dry. Take my shower and shake it off and then just walk out. Walk out dangling and everything. Who says that, Miss Phyllis? Miss Phyllis says you're supposed to pat yourself dry? No way. Pat? That's it. Nah, son. I get it all in there. I get it all up in there. I dry. Does my skin look dry to you? I sweat freely too. So I take in the water. That's how I moisturize. I bring it in the water. I don't worry about that. It's 9:42. Oh my gosh. I would love to get a couple more opinions. I say towel vigorously. Get it all off real good. Miss Phyllis suggested you just pat yourself dry. And that difference there, that's a mile different from each other. I'm not patting like that. What say you? I would love someone else to give an opinion about what's the better way to go. I really would love to hear that. What say you, Dr. Beverly? What say you, Dr. Deborah? Dr. Beverly says pat dry. Use the water residue to blend with my oils to keep you from being ashy. Interesting. Pat yourself dry. Now, that makes more sense using her oils when you add that together to keep yourself from being ashy. Because a lot of us, when the air is dry, we become superheroes. Ash Man. Ash Man and Ash Woman, or Ashy Larry. We get chapped in America. Chapped in America, that's right. Uzama, I just dried vigorously. See, Uzama is also former military, and so am I. Maybe that's where we get that from. You drive vigorously, I just dried vigorously. That's where we do it. This is how we do it. I'm stalling. I got to do the greeting songs. But thank you, Uzama. Is it just because we're the only two men, we both choose to drive vigorously? We get it all off. What does Dr. Deborah say? Is she still in the room? What does Sister Shirley say? Is she still in the room? All right. We're about to say thank you. Lena Janelle, what do you say? Are you still in the room? Are you a pat dry person or dry right? Do you either pat dry or do you do it the right way? Which is it for you? Okay, just curious. Just curious. All right, so we're about to do what we do here. And one of the things we do is because you can see, if this is your first time here, we read the comments. We read all the comments that are not crazy. And that's how this show is driven. And we've been going since October of 2016. Yes, we have. Monday through Friday. So we say thank you to people who consistently contribute to the show. And the way we say thank you is with greeting songs and with greeting up logos. For example, Dr. Beverly was first in the room today. She has a greeting logo. And it goes, Dr. Beverly is on the show. And she's very often at work. So we say, good morning to you and the rest of your crew. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. That's Dr. Beverly's greeting logo. Uzama Ra has been around here long enough. He's contributed long enough and well enough to have gotten himself a greeting song. And his song goes like this. Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama, Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama, good morning, sir. I know his jam is not nearly as good without my wife doing it. Miss Phyllis has been here from the beginning. She has a logo and it goes, Miss Phyllis is here. So clear the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day. Good morning, Miss Phyllis. Our friend Dr. Deborah Dunst is up in the house. She's got a jam too. Her jam goes like this. Dr. Deborah, nonprofit strategist and funding coach. Mm-hmm. That's Dr. Deborah's jam right there. So, Dr. Deborah, do you pat dry or dry the right way? Lena Janelle has a jam too. Lena Janelle, baby, we gets high off her art, don't know how to behave. Ooh, that's Lena Janelle's jam right there. Tony Leakman recommends something. You deserve that. Tony, you deserve a jam because you contribute. You come through. Let's see who else. Shirley DeJohnette Wyatt's got one too. Hers goes, Shirley DeJohnette Wyatt will rock you, rock you. Shirley DeJohnette Wyatt will rock you, rock you. That's Shirley DeJohnette Wyatt's jam right there, y'all. Let's see who else gets one today. I think that's it. That's it. Okay, good. Miss Phyllis says, wait a minute. Whoa. Miss Phyllis, Shirley's still here. I missed some. Jama's okay. Shirley says, I'm still here. Shirley says, I am a pat dry person. Really? Miss Phyllis says, to dry off fast, you guys have, that's why, to dry off fast, you guys have no time. That's what it is. You might be right. Shirley also says, have a blessed day and a weekend for everybody. Thank you, Miss Shirley. And she says, good morning to Lena Janelle. She singled Lena Janelle out. She specified Lena Janelle for her thank you, for her good morning this morning. And Brother Uzama says, it wasn't so bad, Brian K. Just need to develop a shoulder game. Not saying. Good luck to the Detroit Lions. I would like to see Lamar Jackson win the Super Bowl. I'm a fan of him. But I also want to see Saquon Barkley in the game. I don't need Philadelphia to win the game, but I would like to see them there. So Lamar Jackson versus Jalen Hurts, two black quarterbacks, great running backs. You got Derrick Henry and the Ravens. You got Saquon Barkley on Philadelphia. Two black quarterbacks, two star running backs on their teams. I think that would be a fun Super Bowl, but you still got those Chiefs out there. You got those Bills lurking. You got everybody now could make it there. Tony Leak says, I appreciate that now. That now dry right, fam. That's right. There's no wrong way, LOL. Well, Pat Dry's wrong. What you doing that for? Although Dr. Beverly did submit, if you pat dry and then add her oils to what's left over, because there's going to be stuff left over if you pat dry. Okay. But you're welcome, Tony. Very much you're welcome. So I hope you all have a great weekend. Oh, you still got some time. I'm not pressed. I got a couple minutes left. So this has been one of those weeks where twice this week I had to fly solo. I had to fly solo on Monday because my wife took my mother to the doctors, and Fridays for the same reason this week. 2 times. I deserve an award or something for that because I had to do extra duty. Friday is still a work day, so get you some work done today. I'm excited about my Friday. I'm going to make some posts. I'm going to go live. I meant to go live the last 3 days in a row when I was rocking turtlenecks. Tony Leak, you probably have noticed. Yes, Tony, I've rocked the turtleneck today. And I rocked one yesterday, and I rocked one the day before. I mean, I done told my wife, if I'm going to be turtleneck guy, baby, you're going to have to step your game up. You know, it's a different level for this. Rocking turtlenecks up in this mug. Yes, I did. I'm not going to do it next week, but I did 3 days in a row today. Thank you, Sister Shirley. She says, great job. Oh, my gosh. I had yesterday in my work, I talked to a few people. Tony says, I'm loving it. Amen. I talked to a few people yesterday, and there's one really, really smart lady and all that stuff. She was like in business because I'm a sales coach. If you don't know, I teach people. I'm a sales confidence leader. And she was talking about, Brian, I just try to get relationships with people. I don't try to make a sale. I just try to make relationships. Don't that sound nice? I don't try to make a sale. I just try to make a relationship. And I was like, are you happy with the amount of money you're earning in your business? No, she's not. So I had to show her, I told her in Aesop fable, the story of Buridan's ass. Buridan's ass is about this donkey who starves himself to death while standing in between 2 huge stacks of hay because he can't make up his mind which one is better to eat from. And if anyone would just guide him to this stack or that stack, the donkey would eat and probably get a full belly. So when you just show people what you do, but you never ask for their business, you highlight to them that they have a problem that you could fix, but you never have asked for their business, you're putting your clients or potential clients in the same position as Buridan's ass. And when you leave their presence, they like you less. Because if you offer something that they can benefit them, if they know you have something that can benefit them, but you don't showcase for them, you don't even offer it to them, then you just basically made fun of their bad situation and left them there. Oh, Sister Shirley says, I try to make the sale. You go for the sale. Why would you go for I explained to her, the reason why you go for the sale is because they're going to be better off. If you know they're going to be better off, then you selling your services to them is something that you're doing for them, not to them. If you know they're going to be better off, don't you owe it to them to help them? Sister Nichelle Bow, good morning. We're about to get out of here, but I appreciate you sliding through and showcasing and saying good morning to us before we get out of here for the day. Dr. Beverly says, Dr. Luda, I'm sure she's saying Dr. Lisa can't wear a turtleneck because she can't do Uzama's song without her shoulder out. Women do wear turtlenecks. Shaquille Jones had a turtleneck on earlier this week. She was rocking a mustard color turtleneck. She's posted. I'm wearing a mustard turtleneck right now. Mustard on a beat. Oh. And Shirley says, good morning, Nichelle. So we got to get out of here. God bless you guys. Have a great weekend. Entrepreneurial friends, please, please, please make sure that you formally end the week. Stop working for this week. Take a break before you go to next week. It's so tempting for entrepreneurs to just work every day. And then you wear out the machine. So you need to find a way to get some break. Maybe go to a comedy club and get you some laughs. Maybe chill with some friends. You got to do something, have some kind of an event or something. It could be no more than watching football with bratwurst or something like that. Because I'm watching football this weekend. I take my break with a cigar, pretty much. I had a great cigar last night. I had I was a part of my church's men's meeting last night. And then afterwards, I had me a wonderful cigar. So anyway, that was my world. You guys have a beautiful day and rest of your weekend. God bless you guys. Peace.